Hey guys, this is going to be a video of a little bit different caliber than what you're used to seeing on my channel. If you're new to the channel, by the way, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you clicking on that thumbnail. If you don't know who I am, my name is Brian and you're watching. So what am I going to be talking about today? Well, I'm going to be talking about loyalty. I had a situation I wanted to present to you guys and see if any of you have ever dealt with this, and leave me some comments as to how you handled it. I'm going to put a couple of video clips in here in this video to give you an idea of what I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to make this as short and sweet as I possibly can. I took a job about, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago. Lady walked across the street from where we were working, and she wanted to hire us to do her yard. Now, some backstory. I had attempted to pick up this account last year. The problem was the gate that went into her backyard was only about 28 inches wide. Well, I didn't have any equipment small enough to get into her backyard, and her backyard was too big to weed eat. So I told her, I said, I'll hire somebody to put a gate in your back privacy fence so we can get into the backyard, and then we'll do your yard. And she said that's fine. And I wasn't going to charge her any extra. I was going to give her the invoice, let her pay me back exactly what I paid the handyman guy to put the gate in. Well, 2 weeks later when we got there was a new gate in her fence. And I looked at Nate and I said, this ain't good. So I walked over there and talked to her. She said, I found somebody. He was working across the street. Sounds familiar? And he told me he would put a gate in, but he was getting his business off the ground. And he would cut my yard for a really low price if I let it. He would put the gate in for me for a really low price if I would let him cut his yard. And she did. Even though she had already dedicated to me that she was going to let me do it. Well, I let it go. I wasn't mad. I understand with the economy the way it is, you know, you got to save everything you can. I get that. Well, when we were working across the street in from her house, she come out of her house, walked across the road, the busy road, and talked to me about taking over her yard. She said the guy that's doing it is he's not really dependable. And she said, I need somebody that can come and cut my yard every 2 weeks. Now, understand what I just said. She wanted somebody that could cut her yard dependably every 2 weeks. Put a pin in that and keep that in mind. We did her yard the first time. She was thoroughly pleased. We came back the next time and she asked me about trimming the azaleas. And I'll put a video clip of that right here. That's the job we were on when you saw, if you've watched that video, that's the job we were on. Well, she came out to pay me and I charged her accordingly. I did not overcharge her by any means. I charged her according to the time we were there. And I charged, just to give you an idea, I charged $65 an hour. We were there for about 2 hours. So that tells you about what I charged her. That is for the trimming the bushes, hauling the stuff of the debris off, and doing the yard. That was all three. Well, the next time, 2 weeks later, we came, because we do the property right next door to her house. We came to do both properties. She came outside and she said, I really can't do every 2 weeks. She said, can we go to every 3 weeks? And I said, ma'am, I said, I do every week or every 2 weeks or once a month. I can't go. if I had somebody on that route every week or every 3 weeks, then it wouldn't be a problem. But I don't. So I would have to work her in, and if I'm in the next county, doing her yard's kind of an inconvenience. So I decided, you know what? I'm not going to argue the point. I'll do hers once a month to help her out. So we skipped that time, and then 2 weeks later, which would have been 1 month from the time we did it before, we got out. Nate was working on the other property. He was cutting. I did all the trimming. Then I went over to her house, and I was doing all the trimming. I'd done everything in the front. I had edged it, everything. Then I went into the backyard, and it was grown up pretty good. So I was edging, weed eating back there, and I got almost completely done. And she comes out of the house and taps me on the shoulder, and she says, I'm not going to use you anymore. She said, a teenager up the street's out of school now, and he said he would cut my grass for $10. And I tried to hide my disgust, but I couldn't. I set my trimmer down, I took my headphones off, and I said, Miss So-and-so, I said, this is the 3rd time you've done this. I said, you seem to have no loyalty to anyone except those that are going to give you the cheapest price. I get the economy is terrible. I get that she's an older lady. I get that she don't have a lot of money. I get that. But she came to me. It ain't like I went begging her for the job. She came to me. I gave her the price. Actually, I was only charging her about probably $20 less than what this yard was actually worth. But I was trying to help her out. I was trying to secure the account. And so I did it for less than what I would normally do it for. And it still didn't work. Guys, do you have customers that don't show loyalty to you? Now, in full disclosure, I've got customers that have been with me since almost the beginning of my business. I've got one lady that lives about 10 miles from here. She's been with me since 2001. She's been with me for 23 years. I have another customer that's been with me for almost 15 years. I pride myself on customer retention. When you can retain a customer that long, it's because they appreciate you, they like what you do, they like your work, their yard looks immaculate when you leave, and their stuff doesn't go with you. Now, what do I mean by that? You don't steal from them. Let me take my glasses off. When you leave their job, their property stays in their yard. You don't take from them because it doesn't belong to you. I pride myself on having good customer relations and good customer retention. And when I qualify a customer, this is the way I qualify them. I said, if you're looking for dependability, competitive pricing, and honesty, then I'm your guy. If you're looking for somebody that you don't care, you just want the grass cut, you don't care what it looks like, I'm not your guy. But I'm going to do as best job as I can for the money I'm charging you, and anything extra over, if it's within a reasonable boundary, I will do it at the same charge. I won't upcharge you. Now, if you're asking me to do a bunch of extra work, then yeah, it's going to be an upcharge over what the regular service charge would be. But this lady didn't seem to have any loyalty to me or anyone else. I don't know but what she didn't do the same thing to the other yard guy. I have a feeling she did. But guys, I'm going to stop right here because I could keep going on and on and on, but it's not necessary. But let me know in the comments below, please, if you do lawn care or if you are in the service industry and you see this video, let me know what you would do or what you have done in the past when you encountered a customer like this. Because I don't encounter them that often. And this was a new one on me. I've never been, what's the word? What's the best way to describe it? I've never been one-upped by a teenager with a push mower. While we were standing there, I told her, lose my number, don't call me, don't come over and talk to me when you see my truck parked here rather. And if you do, you're going to hear something you probably don't want to hear. And it's just best that we not communicate with each other, because I'm done. I walked away and I closed her gate, and I didn't look back. You know, guys, I understand that the economy is bad. I get that. It's bad for me too. But when you come to someone else and you ask of them to do your work, be loyal to them. Don't jerk them around. Don't yank their chain. They're doing a service. Be loyal to them. And if they're doing a good job, give them a tip every now and then. But anyway, that's enough of that. This is Brian with Big South Outdoors TV. I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. I hope you remember to live big, live southern, and live outdoors. Until we meet again, folks, have a good one.